Have you been foreclosed on? Or perhaps you're one of the nearly 800,000 loans that are currently in default.
How you got involved.
You've already walked through the fire and have gotten stronger as a result.
Well, our affiliate program is designed for loan officers.
Hi, this is David Comtoy, and welcome to FixMyReport.com.
So today, what I'm really looking to share with you is the other opportunities that do exist in the marketplace, in spite of all the evidence saying that there's not. Okay, so as an outcome, we're looking to really, number one, train you in being able to be effective in a new level, a new way of reading a credit report. In credit scoring, you know, maybe it's not so sexy, it's not so unique, or whatever. I kind of think it's extremely exciting. I study about credit and credit scoring all the time, and always looking for what's going on in the industry and really what's not happening in the industry. And so one of the goals here today is help you understand, to be more effective at understanding what and how you can really impact your clients in a new way. So what we did and what you'll see in these are a variety of different scenarios that currently exist in the marketplace. My goal is to be able to have you have knowledge on what to do to handle it, how to convert a lemon into a lemon, you know, some lemons into lemonade. My hope is that you leave being able to have some new knowledge and pick up $10,000 to $15,000 in the next 30 to 45 days on deals that are sitting there doing nothing. So this first client, he's actually in the Bay Area, and if you look at the first credit report, you'll see in the credit summary he's got assets totaling, of course, as you know. It doesn't account for true cash, asset value. It doesn't account for a number of things. It doesn't account for male or female, job income, anything like this, but about $3.9 million. So what you'll see is a credit score of 616, 600, and 619. So his mid-score is what? Okay, perfect. So the very first item in gray, based upon this credit report, that item is GMAC, yes? Okay, so what do we see there in the delinquency column? A 30, a 60, and 290s, yes? Okay, so and that's pretty recent. So what do you think, are there any lenders, does anybody know of any lenders right now that'll fund a deal for this client? No way, right? Not a possibility. So what's the key driver that the lender would say no? Is it a FICO score issue, or is it there's a foreclosure? Exactly. So take a look at it carefully, study it for a moment, and memorize it. So switch to the page, the following page, and you'll see two more accounts there that were also in foreclosure. Greenpoint Savings, a 30, a 60, and 690s. So now, here's a very unique phenomenon, and you probably have all experienced it, okay? This is an individual. He's actually a personal friend of mine. He's a multimillionaire, lives in the Bay Area up on Mount Tam in Marin. Very nice area. And well-heeled guy, successful, good family. He's got more than adequate funds to pay off both of those debts in cash. But he can't get finance for a $200 secured card with Capital One. Capital One won't give him a $200 secured card because of these issues. So switch to the next page. So now this was done as a snapshot on the top right-hand corner of this document, which is page 1 of that credit report, the following page, July 21st. Is everybody with me? Okay. And if you go back to the very first page, you'll see it was April 22nd of this year was the start date. Is that clear? April 20. Okay, very good. So let's take a look at the differences in score, and I can share with you what we did to be able to get him to a next level. So can anybody maybe share with me what the differences in credit scores are right now? So the mid-score is now 673, yeah? 57 points? Okay. So 57-point increase in how long? About 90 days. Yeah, you're right. He's still non-financeable, even though his middle score is what? And his high score is 705. And he's got well over $2 million cash in the bank, if he needed to. So this is a unique phenomenon that we're in. As a matter of fact, I was on a conference call 2 weeks ago in New York where a private investor, small room about this size, actually allocated $400 billion cash for transactions exactly like what I just shared. So even though we've been through and we're walking through the fire right now, and clearly that's not going to end until probably 2013, because that's when all these crazy adjustables and a variety of these mortgages are starting to tail off. We have 30 to 40 billion of adjustments happening until 2013, January. based upon Credit Suisse's website. If you go to creditsuisse.com, S-U-I-S-S-E, you'll take a look and see what's really going on so you can prepare for it, prepare your marketing for it. Maybe you're interested in getting involved in the loan modification business. Maybe you're interested in getting into and adding more value to your clients by becoming effective in the area of credit and credit scoring so you can help them. So this is a guy that clearly in 3 months you would never imagine that a person's credit score would be up 60 points that's in foreclosure currently. Let's go to scenario number 2. And this is a little bit unusual. But I like unusual. Unusual is good. Unique is good. If you just keep doing what you're already doing, you're going to get the same results. So mixing it up a little bit, whether it's auctions or modifications or credit work, is a good thing today. You want to get on the opposite side of the fence. When everybody's running to the hills, let's sit back and make a lot of money doing something different. So I want to introduce a gentleman who's actually here as a favor. Leo, come on up. This is Leo, and he's got a lot of courage to be here. How are you? We just thank you for being here. Thank you. We've never met until about a half hour ago. Yes. And you're a client of Rory Canberra. Mm-hmm. And Rory Canberra was the prior past president of the California Association of Mortgage Brokers here in San Diego. And I'm just going to be really straight and let's take our masks off and be honest. Which is the perfect way and the only way I want to go. When we first started, which was about, 2 months ago? 2 months ago. Leo's credit score was 487. So your credit scores went from 487 middle score to a middle score now of 560. Okay, so it's about 80 points or so, something like that, 70, 80 points. And so can you share in a moment or so, what happened and all the gyrations that we went through and
Well, it started as I wanted to buy my own home, but I hit a snag because of my credit. So my mortgage officer introduced me to Corey, and that's where we started to identifying all these creditors that I have, so we can fix it. Had. So as you can see, I started really on the gutter, but with the help of Mr. Goldstein here, he basically picked me up and to my recent credit score right now.
So here's where you're at today, okay? So what happened was, just share. So Leo's wife went out and bought a piece of jewelry. Okay? I don't know what it was. It was a couple $1,000s. She bought it at Daniel's Jewelers. Did she even tell you that she was going to do that?
No.
Nice. Okay, so she went out, bought a piece of jewelry. You can see it on the next page. It's a second line item down under derogatories, right here. And so she bought it. You can take a look at the opening date, which was April of 2008. Does everybody see that? April of 2008? Okay, great. So what can anybody tell us about her payment history? She missed a payment in the middle of a home purchase. And so what happened to her credit score is that she went into the 400s. And so the impact of something when you're in the middle of a deal, there's nothing more frustrating when you're ready to close and something happens and all of a sudden your client goes out and buys a big screen TV or goes out and goes car shopping. She's laughing. Goes car shopping. Did you do that? All right. Goes car shopping, goes and does something, and then all of a sudden, what happens to your potential commission? And your stress level. It's like amazing we have hair left on our heads, This gentleman has given up a while ago, right? So it's a very frustrating situation. So what happened was we actually have been very effective at building relationships with creditors all around the country. And we have a database of almost 4,000 collection agencies and creditors that we work with. And so we know them, they know us, and when we speak straight. And so we give them either dollars if that's needed, or we are effective at being able to negotiate with them in such a way that they provide us a letter of deletion. Who's heard that before? A letter of deletion, a modification letter? Anybody hear that? Okay, great. So that's exactly what happened. We obtained a letter of deletion, which we didn't include, but we obtained a letter of deletion for that 30-day late, actually 2 30-day lates with Daniel's Jewelers, from the vice president of Daniel's Jewelers. He called our offices on a Sunday and sent the letter. So look what happened to the credit score just 30 days after. It went from 826 on 826 to September 26. On 826, it went from where? Her middle score is actually, she only had 2 scores. Exactly. Her scores went up 150 points in a month. Okay? So do you have a doable deal now?
I hope so.
You better know it, brother. And so, I really want to say thank you for just, sharing, because it's totally courageous to share and be vulnerable. And I really acknowledge you for that. And my commitment is to certainly, do everything in my power to have it close, win, and have you and your family be happy.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, man.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You too.
All the best. Thank you. Let's go to scenario 3, okay? So, this was is a real estate developer in South Carolina. So, do most people work in California? Does anybody work outside California? What other states you work in?
Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Texas.
Okay. What kind of deals are you typically doing right now?
Lower price ones in here, but
Yeah. A lot of FHA. Anybody else work outside the state? Just in California. Okay. So we work all around the United States. And oftentimes we work with relatively high net worth people that demand a lot of results because all they want to do is pay a check, forget about it, and know that it's handled. So some people are like that. Some people aren't yet prepared to be able to invest all kinds of time, all kinds of money. You may have a buyer that needs 6 to 12 months to gather his funds or things to this effect. But in this case, that's not the case. He's a developer. He had 10 days to close this deal. So does anybody know what an authorized user is? My very colorful, beautiful woman. What is an authorized user? Right. So it's a person that has the authority to use a credit card, but not also directly liable for the debt. So there's a little known thing, or maybe you even know about it, and you can look to the next page. So he couldn't get financed because he needed a 680 mid-score. And this was an $8 million deal. Okay? And we're not loan officers, but we're effective in credit, so our core competency is score improvement as quickly as possible. So he's got a 647 middle score, right? And let's take a look at the next page. We've kind of put Rush on there so you can see it. It's a Chase account, and it's his only derogatory issue on his credit report. Right? He's got 3 30s, a 60, and no 90s. It's not his card either. But how many times have your clients maybe not told you everything completely straight? Does that ever happen? Okay. So, originally we're like, well, okay, let's investigate it and see. He's got a 703 mid-score, and he had a 647 mid-score before. So what, 56 points? Okay. So 56 points in 5 days. Completely, is that a possibility? Do you ever think like that's possible to get done in that period of time? Okay, here's how we did it. Anybody used rescore before? And how's your success? Come see, come saw? Okay. Okay. Different companies have a different process. Some kind of call it rapid rescore. Some companies call it bullseye. Some other companies have different names to it. So for a cost of $90, we deleted this account as an authorized user. And in a couple days, this credit scoring agency, whichever one it is, deleted that item, causing and providing the opportunity for that developer to close on his real estate deal, period. So is that something that, like, if you have that kind of resource in your back pocket, whether it's rescoring or whether it's identifying aspects on a credit report kind of a different way, what I'm only looking to do is have you open up your eyes to the possibility of what else is on a credit report that can be moved around creatively in such a way that you can help your clients more effectively. It's not about beating the system. It's about outsmarting the whole deal, okay, the whole system. It's a very old, antiquated approach. The credit scoring matrix, they try to change them and fix them all the time, and et cetera. But the fact is, it's never going away ever, period. As a side note, I was at the W Hotel about a month ago, and sitting up on top of the hotel, it's like a little sand area. It's kind of elegant and nice at night. And I was sitting around the fire pit, and there was just myself and 6 other people, and they happened to have been from Fair Isaac out of London. And so, it was like totally amazing. I didn't tell them the business that I was in, but I was listening to them, and that specific group of people was from the fraud division. In England, in Europe, and they handle all of that. And they were sharing some of the difficulties of identity theft and fraud. And it was a very interesting conversation. As you can imagine, I was like, "Wow, this is kind of a little synergistic." And what I saw in that is that they have a system. It changes very slowly. It doesn't move that quick. It's not very fluid and liquid. But if you know the rules of the game, you can operate within it, and that's the goal: is to have you operate and be more effective in operating that way. Pardon me. So let's look at this one more scenario here. Scenario 4. If you deal with investors, anybody deal with investors, investor properties, whether they're short sales or negotiation deals, to this effect? Okay. So this credit report is actually still in the process of being resolved, and we just pulled it. We just pulled it yesterday. So this is an investor in the Bay Area. So here's a guy. He's got 8 properties, about $3.5 million of total loan value. At one point in time, he thought the market was somewhere about $5.5 to $5.6 million for all these pieces of property. His credit scores, we've been actually disputing, basic disputes. And in this document, we've got some disputes that you can use that are CAM-approved, state-approved documentation that you can use. If you like doing old school stuff and you like doing things yourself, we'll show you at the end of this how to do that in an effective way. So this gentleman's credit report actually started in the 480s. We were able to, in spite of him being in foreclosure, and if you look to page 3, the second item down, he's got a countrywide with a 30, a 60, 290s. Currently in default, currently late. His outstanding balance is $16,021, as you can see, under the amount past due. He's got a Citibank account, a 30, a 60, a couple 90s, countrywide account, etc. And if you go to the next page, he's got a whole other stack. He's got a countrywide account, currently late in foreclosure. He's got another countrywide. So countrywide is loving this guy, right? They've got millions of dollars, not collecting any income off him whatsoever, and he's actually rented all these properties, and guess what? You think he's paying the mortgage? How many people do you know right now that are doing that? So I'm not here to judge. That's not my game. We're only looking to facilitate a solution for people. They have free will to do whatever they choose to do, and whatever repercussions they experience, that's their life. This gentleman has chosen to receive as much income because he owns a mortgage company. And his income has gotten hammered because all he's been doing is conventional loans in the Bay Area, and that market is pretty much non-existent. So he's in a long-term program. This is not a guy that can get done in 5 days, right? That's pretty clear. So here's a couple little simple things around simple disputing that you can do. So this is a document that the California Association of Mortgage Brokers use. You can use it as well, and it's really simple. It adds a number of things. I like it because it gives you some options. Don't use other, okay? On the category here, if you put other in, it's a death sentence to actually get the item confirmed, okay? Don't use other. Got it? Okay? If you're going to use this document, you could say something like, these choices are horrible choices, my view. Completely not anything you can count on. Like, not my account. Well, what will happen is a creditor will confirm it's your account, and now it's confirmed for the next 7 years. Hello, credit score slammed, you're out, dead deal. Don't pay collections, don't pay charge-offs, and we can talk about that later. I've got a whole little section on that on our website, and I can certainly share that. And there's something I want to give you as a takeaway if you're interested in it. And I hope you are. I don't have that many, but you can copy. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So one of the things that, like I said, we've become really effective at is knowing which creditors we'll delete, regardless of accuracy. Okay? Regardless of accuracy. Completely counterintuitive. You think, why would a creditor would delete information if it's accurate? They may have other motivations. We don't know what it is. But it takes you to like sharpen your communication skill around dealing with creditors and collection agencies. And we have actually, right now, a 99% success rate in getting an item deleted, regardless. If it's a mortgage late, countrywide, blah, blah, blah. So what I've done is I put together my top 11 agencies and creditors that will delete for you. Okay? And so if you like that, I'll put that right over here, and you can take that. American Express Financial is the first one. Anybody have an American Express account? Any lates on it? So you can take that, and if you like. You can pass them out. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So with that in mind, I'd also like to share with you that, well, has this been any benefit? Has it been any benefit? Okay, great. So if somebody can name the first benefit that they get, this is a new DVD that we have coming out, and it's actually out already. And it's called The Credit Expert's Insider's Guide to Closing Any Real Estate Deal. Something that you learned.
I learned that there's a list of 11 people.
Yes.
The rapid rescore.
You didn't know about rapid rescore?
I didn't know how quickly and how drastically it could really work. I mean, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen similar ones like that. So it's a big privilege.
Outstanding. Thank you. So I've got a couple more, and I need a couple more for some presentations. So I've got, let's see, I'll do two more here. So anybody else want to share? Yes. Foreclosure, you brought up something. So his gentleman, what's your name? Iron. Iron? Cool. Got a lot of you in the fire, right? All right, awesome. So, cool name. So, there's a whole process around foreclosure deletion. Okay, their items can actually be deleted. You have a client that's got a foreclosure on their credit report, you can actually delete it. It's a 4-step process, totally legal, totally kosher. The whole secret is in what's known as a notice of rescission. Okay, if you can find out what a notice of rescission is and communicate with the creditor to provide you a notice of rescission, that trade line item is off the report permanently. I don't care if it's $5 million. So thank you very much for participating, and you guys were totally great and alive. What I would suggest is, if you actually want to take on credit, there's a lot of things you have to be sensitive to. You don't want to do certain things, and you do want to do certain things, so be safe. If you want to get more information on more the services, we have an affiliate program. It's a little green sheet in the back. And the affiliate program, we have a CAM special, and the affiliate program is specifically designed to educate you ongoingly around how to deal with collections, foreclosures, charge-offs, bankruptcies, repossessions. We have a great loan modification expert that will be speaking next. And we have a CAM special. You can take a look at the flyer if you're interested in it. And thank you very much for your attention, and good luck in your business.